I think, being unsure about whether or not you want to learn Vedic meditation right away, being unsure about not practicing it, about practicing it if you haven't yet learned it, it's all great. Uh, I'm all in favor of you doing research. If you're going to do research, do it very consciously. Do the research very consciously. You may know people who do practice Vedic meditation, and you may have witnessed in their lives and by their self-report that things seem to get better in every way in life. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to your current knowledge base because, of course, I don't expect anybody to do anything different if the knowledge you currently have is serving you fully. If the knowledge you have right now, currently, is serving you fully, there are some ways in which you can assess that. And the ways you assess it are, how big is the gap between the rising of a desire and the fulfillment of that desire? There's one way you can look at this. How big is the gap? You have a desire, and does it take years for the desire to get fulfilled? Or does the desire rise in the mind and the fulfillment of it progress very quickly after that to that desire reaching its fruit? Another way of looking at it is raw degree of suffering. The good time for assessing this is at the end of every given day. As you're laying yourself down to have your however many hours it is you need, a dozen hours or 15 hours of lazing around, lollygagging and recovering from a stressful day. As you're about to commence the whole lying down thing, just have a little thought to yourself. Was this, to what extent was this a really enriching, fulfilling day? Yet another great day in some percentage of 100 years worth of days. 100 times 365. If you live to be 100 years, which many of the current listeners will do because life expectancy is increasing all the time, or some percentage of that, maybe you get 75 years, so that's 3/4 of 100. So somewhere around 100 years or so, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, of days and nights that are passing irresistibly. How many of those days and nights do you wish to replicate on the one you've just now had? So I've just now had yet another day. How many more of my days and nights do I wish to throw into my research project? I'm researching if I have adequate knowledge to live life in a way that is full. So what the size of the gap between the rising of a desire and the fulfillment of a desire, the feeling that you have at the end of a given day, was this a fulfilling day or was it a problematic day? In other words, go ahead, don't learn Vedic meditation, doesn't matter. I'm interested in teaching people who really want to learn this. I'm not interested in teaching people who are iffy about whether they should learn it or not. If you're feeling a little iffy, that's fine. You're doing some research. There's a part of you that feels as though you might know already how to live your life in a way that by the end of your percentage of 100 years, you're going to look back and say, that was a fabulous life. Maybe you already have that knowledge. If you have it, there'll be these signs. How well do you interact with the demands of the environment? How ruled are you by past experiences that are no longer here, but which bind you nonetheless and make you behave in ways that are not relevant? So many of us behave in ways that are not relevant either to ourselves and our interaction with the natural world around us, or we behave in ways that are not relevant socially. We're socially handicapped because of past experiences that are still ruling us, perhaps years after those experiences already are over with. And you're living in a completely different environment in a different world. And yet, because of the accumulated stress, the leftover residue of some past experience, you've been stopped from being able to have relevant behavior, either socially or relevant behavior with reference to your interaction with the natural world around you. And so then, are you feeling super relevant? Are you feeling fulfilled at the end of each day? Are you feeling like you have adequate knowledge and capability? Are you feeling sanguine? That means hopeful for those of you who don't know. Are you feeling sanguine about the prospects of the future? Are you feeling as though life is evolving and progressing? Are you feeling as though change is a good thing? Change is evolutionary? Or the opposites of all those? Continue doing your research, but do it very consciously and assess things. When you're ready and you feel as though you'd like to add one little bit of knowledge, and what is that? Vedic meditation. You're going to sit on a chair twice a day, close your eyes, and go into a bliss state. You'll do that twice every day, and that could be a new experiment. I'll sit on a chair twice every day, before my breakfast and before my dinner. And the chair could be a really comfortable one. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It could be like where I'm sitting here, very comfortable. You're just going to sit on a chair and close your eyes and spend 15 or 20 minutes just being in a bliss state. And see if that does any good for you. You could add that into the mix of your research. Even if you want to learn Vedic meditation because you have some curiosity about it, provided you have the willingness to follow a few simple instructions and learn it properly, then you could experiment with that. And I would warrant that if you give it 6 weeks of regular, non-negotiable, twice daily practice, it will revolutionize your life and your self-reckoning so much you would never consider looking back. That's what my experience is in having taught nearly 50,000 people all over the world for the last 55 years. That tends to be what people experience. But if you feel as though your existing knowledge base is adequate, and you just want to continue with that, you don't want to change anything because you think you already have everything you need to live a totally fulfilled life, continue living the totally fulfilled life without Vedic meditation, but let's be very conscious and assess it and see to what extent you actually do have that. And if actually you do, then you don't need Vedic meditation. If you're leading a fulfilled life already and you're absolutely fulfilled, so long as that's the case, so long as it seems to be so, continue with what you're doing consciously, assessing it every day. If things change and you decide maybe you'd like to add 20 minutes twice a day of sitting in a chair being in bliss to your daily repertoire of experience, then even if you decided last week not to learn it, and this week you've decided maybe you'll give it a try, come and learn it. I have an entire worldwide team of people, and I'm one of them, a worldwide team of people who are waiting for you to show up and say, I have the curiosity, and I have the willingness to follow a few simple instructions for 20 minutes twice a day. Let me take your course. The course is so minimal, 90 minutes over 4 consecutive days. You come and take your class with your qualified Vedic meditation teacher, and then you can do the new experiment. What would life be like if you added this 20 minutes of bliss twice a day, and then assess that, add that into your research. So take a very relaxed approach to all this. One of the things that we, meaning I and all of my colleagues worldwide, we are not proselytizers. We don't have a mission to get you meditating. No. We're actually kind of not even interested in you unless you're interested in us. If you get interested in us, we're interested in you. But, you're going to have to actually come and ask us to teach you. We don't have this world mission to get every person on the world meditating, and we're all desperate because we think some dreadful thing is going to happen if people don't meditate. Actually, a tiny percentage of the world learning to meditate, maybe 1%, maybe 1 out of 100, would be completely fulfilling to us. Our idea is that that would create enough change in the world to make the world a better place for everybody. 99% of the people can absolutely ignore us and will be utterly happy. Just 1 out of 100 comes and decides that they're going to be, one of the ones who makes a change of, more relevant behavior in the world. Then you're welcome with open arms. Come and learn, come and feast at the table of the Vedic meditation movement, and welcome you with open arms, and we'll get on with teaching you a systematic technique for regular experience of increased happiness. Jai Gurudev.